Hey guys, week 2 of Super Rugby Unlocked. The first week was pretty good for my SuperBru. This week's gonna be a little bit more hard. Cheetahs versus Bulls in this first one we are covering. So yeah, join the SuperBru pool if you also wanna make predictions on there. They are playing the Free State Stadium, obviously no fans due to restrictions still. It's mostly cloudy today, but I can tell you it's gonna be a very hot day in Bloemfontein. I'm over here sweating a hell of a lot, and over on Saturday it's going to be a lot hotter. History does favor the Bulls a little bit, but we know the Cheetahs do always push up their game a little bit for the Bulls. They are natural enemies, has always been like that in the history of South African rugby. Looking at the two teams, the Cheetahs haven't changed anything to their squad. I mean, they have a winning combination, winning 53-31 over the Pumas last week. The Bulls, they actually changed quite a bit, but I mean, they almost lost to the Griquas. Pretty narrowly beat them there. I thought actually at a stage the Griquas were going to win, especially in the first half. They probably got lucky there in the first half. Also, the refereeing wasn't the best in that game, but let's not get too much into that. Let's just talk about the teams. The Cheetahs, their scrum performance was brilliant last week. The Bulls, they were also pretty good. They did bring in Johan Grobler as their hooker, because I mean their hooker did struggle a little bit last week, and Johan Grobler, I think he's a little bit more safe when it comes to line-out options. In the second row, Wagner, he had a great performance last week. He won a lot of line-outs. Steenkamp, he's going to the Bulls one of these days. Jason Jenkins and Norkia, I thought they comboed pretty well somewhere in that game for the Bulls to score a pretty brilliant try for two tall second rowers. Then we get to the loose forwards. Marco van Staden, the guy that's always going to be over the ball trying to win it. Arno Botha as well. Then you get Dwayne Vermeulen. He's going to do that as well. He's in his first game in the Super Rugby Unlocked, captaining the side. Remember, he was rested last week, so he's going to come out full and just all guns blazing. But look, the loose forwards for the Cheetahs aren't half bad either. Ntsila, he was brilliant last week. Pokomela, he does his thing every single week. He's a great player to watch. I do say he is going to become a Springbok one of these days. And then Jasper Visser played pretty well last week. Then we get number 9s. Ruan Pienaar goes up against Ambrose Papier. I didn't think he's going to get his shot ever under White, because I thought White would probably want the Bulls to play a very kicking game. Last week they again played a running game, even with Ivan van Zyl. Ivan van Zyl is showing a little bit of a different side to how he plays, a little bit quicker, but he did kick a lot as well. Ambrose Papier coming in, he's probably there to bring some speed to the Bulls side, because that back line of the Cheetahs is proper quick if you look at it. Then in the number 12s, two big guys that love bashing into players. Both have big boots as well. Both of them can play number 10 and 15 as well. So very similar players, Clinton Swart and Frans Steyn, and it's a good battle on the field there. I think Frans Steyn did pretty well last week. He had a nice kick in behind the Griquas as well last week, the Pumas last week, so that one of his teammates could score a try. Then Janse van Rensburg, he's one of those guys that just went unnoticed last week. I think he had 3 try assists last week, just with a lot of offloads and great passes from him. He's up against Cornel Hendricks, who's just getting better and better in the center role. Yes, he's not playing 12 this week, but I think 13 is probably where you're going to get the best out of him. He's really playing like Sonny Bill. A lot of people said Sonny Bill Hendricks, and I just laughed at it for a bit. But when you do look at it more, he does actually play like that, and he does get that offloads through, does get a good step through as well. Then you get the wingers. That's where everything's exciting. The back three for the Cheetahs is just amazing, where you get Roscoe Speckman, who's up against his previous team again. Malcolm Yar, both of them were brilliant last week, scoring a bunch of tries each of them. I think Roscoe could have scored 3. He passed one of those away for Ruan Pienaar. And then Clayton Blommetjies just always joining from the fullback to make things or set things up for his team. Jade Styling, he comes in for the Bulls, and then David Kriel, he's actually now on the other wing for the Bulls. And then Hugh Ablon, he was quite quiet last week, but I think this game is a type of game where he can thrive, because the Cheetahs, let's face it, they were very good in their attack in the start of the game, but then they just fell flat, and the Pumas just started scoring, so their defense is still a little bit iffy. So the Bulls might try and exploit that as well, and that's where I think it's going to be pretty interesting in this one. Both of these teams have had a lot of offloads last week. I think both of them led that, and they both led the running meters. The Cheetahs, I think, had 703 meters, and the Bulls in second place with 503 meters. Both teams changed their hookers. Then Gerard Steenekamp, he comes in for the Bulls to just to improve their scrum when he does come on. Sintu Manjesi, he's up against his old team, up against the Cheetahs. JP Dupree is going to watch him pretty well in the line-out. I want to see how they go up against each other. Nizam Kaur gets his first play time for the Bulls in the Super Rugby Unlocked. And then Ivan van Zyl, like I said, he has been dropped to the bench. Tiaan Meyer, he's a guy that just slots in everywhere for the Cheetahs if they do need him. He's played number 9, 10. He's played on the wing as well. And then William Small-Smith, the winger / center, can do his thing as well. Stedman Gans, he's the 7-star that can exploit a little bit of gaps when he does come on for the sides. Guys, it is a difficult one to call because last week both of these sides probably played the weaker two teams in the competition, the Pumas and the Griquas. Now they're up against each other. The Bulls arguably didn't do as well as the Cheetahs did against the Pumas, but the Griquas are maybe a little bit better, so it's difficult to say, especially because this could be a wake-up call for the Bulls to actually play better in this one. I do think they are going to play better. The Cheetahs, their running rugby was just second to none last week, so yeah, the prediction... it's a hard one. I think it might be a high-scoring game. I think because it's in Bloemfontein, because it's very hot, the Cheetahs by 3. It might be 2 even as well. It's a very close game, I predict. Guys, thanks for all the support. Thanks for supporting my Patreon page as well. Big Will, he's the first guy that has joined that. So check that out if you do like my channel and want to subscribe, or want to support that. And then I'll see you for the next one. Cheers.